In a mountain village lived an old farmer named Haruki. He was known for his kindness, always the first to lend a hand, sharing food with the hungry, repairing roofs after typhoons, and comforting those who had lost loved ones. Haruki believed in one rule: do good, and it will come back to you. One day a traveler came to the village. His clothes were dusty, his face weary, and his eyes sorrowful. He knocked on Haruki's door, and without hesitation Haruki fed him and made a place for him by the hearth. Over dinner, the traveler said thoughtfully, "Haruki-san, I see you are a kind man. But tell me, have you received kindness in return for your own?" The old man smiled. "I help because I know that someday if I'm in trouble, people will help me." The traveler looked down. "Be careful," he said. "Sometimes kindness can lead to misfortune." With those words, he left. Haruki pondered this, but quickly dismissed his doubts. How could a good deed lead to evil? Soon after, his neighbor, the widow Oki, came to him. She bowed and pleaded, "Haruki-san, you are a good man. Please help me plow my field. My son is still too young." Haruki couldn't refuse, and worked all day until the sun disappeared below the horizon. His hands were covered in blisters, but his heart was glad. He had helped someone in need. But the next day, Oki came again. "You helped me once, so you can help me today," she said, as though it were only natural. "Forgive me, Oki, but I have much work in my own field," he replied. The woman frowned. "So, your kindness was just an act? Can a good person really refuse?" Neighbors began to whisper, "Is this the same Haruki who helped everyone? He's become greedy." The old man was surprised. He had helped once, and now it was expected always. Another time, bandits came to the village. They demanded gold and rice. The village elder stepped forward and said, "We have nothing. Leave." The bandits were about to go when Haruki stepped forward. "Wait, if they're hungry, perhaps we should give them some food." The elder looked at him in disbelief, but Haruki was already bringing a sack of rice. The bandits took the food and left, laughing. A month later they returned. The leader smirked. "We know he'll feed us again." Haruki refused. The bandits grew angry. They set his house on fire and took what remained of his supplies. As he watched the flames devour his roof, Haruki understood. His kindness hadn't reformed the bandits. It had only made them stronger. Years passed. One day, a young man named Kenji came to the village. He was pale, his clothes torn, his eyes pleading. "Please help me," he cried when he saw Haruki. The old man couldn't turn him away. He let him in, gave him food, poured hot tea, and let him stay the night. The next day, Kenji told his story. "I've offended a nobleman by accident. Now his men want to kill me." Haruki took pity on the youth and hid him in his home. A few days later, samurai arrived. Their leader demanded, "A criminal is hiding in this house. Anyone who shelters him will be punished along with him." Haruki couldn't betray the young man. He stepped out and said firmly, "There are no criminals in this house." The samurai frowned but left him alone. A couple of days later, Kenji gathered his things. "Thank you for everything, old man. You are kind." But as he was leaving, the samurai intercepted him. "This old man hid me," Kenji suddenly shouted, pointing a trembling finger at Haruki. Haruki stood frozen, as though time had slowed. He couldn't believe the betrayal. "I didn't want to be killed," Kenji whispered. "Forgive me." The samurai arrested Haruki for harboring a fugitive. As they led him away, the crowd watched in silence. Those who had once respected him now avoided him. No one rushed to his defense. Fear of authority was stronger than gratitude. He was thrown into a dungeon where he spent days in reflection. He wasn't angry at the youth. Kenji had been saving his own life. One day, an old friend of Haruki's, a merchant named Hideo, came to the dungeon. He had negotiated Haruki's release. When the guards opened the door, Hideo said quietly, "You always helped people. But where are they now? Where is the one you sheltered? Where are those you fed?" It's unfair, my friend, Hideo continued. Your good deeds didn't protect you. They made you vulnerable. People often mistake kindness for weakness and don't value it until it's gone. Haruki nodded. Does that mean I was a fool? Should I have turned away like others did? Hideo shook his head. No, but now you know the price of kindness. Do good with wisdom, not naivety. Not everyone who asks for help deserves it, and not everyone you help will remember you in your hour of need. Haruki pondered this. He left the dungeon a changed man. He no longer rushed to help everyone. Now he looked deeper. Who stood before him? What kind of life did they lead? Would his kindness become the cause of his own misfortune? Years passed, and the village no longer saw him as the naive old man. He still helped people, but with wisdom and caution. From then on, Haruki was no longer just a kind man. He was a man whose kindness had grown stronger, because now it belonged only to those who truly deserved it.